Well, good day to all of our awesome INFINii audience, particularly those of you that are part of Top Team. My very dear buddy and sponsor, Jeff White, asked if I would do a little training so that our audience would really understand just how big the compensation enhancement announcements that we heard about on the Monday night, January 4th webinar, just how big they are. Now, if you're new to my training or to any of the trainings that we do, we always like to start a training off with something that's nice, picturesque, maybe a video like we have here, where the design is to really just to get us to have a quick mental vacation break. So many people have been beaten up, my gosh, all they're trying to do is make some money online. And so many people have been beaten up, and as a result, a lot of people put their dreams on the shelf, and those dreams start to collect dust. So before we get into any training, we like to take those dreams off the shelf, blow off any dust, and then provide you valuable training. My son put this video together for us. So right now we're in Dubai. That's where we are right now. So our mental vacation break today was in Dubai. All right, let's go to work. Let's go to work. Let's go to work. All right, so last evening, tremendous webinar, and I want to make sure that we get it. I've been in the home business industry since 1994, and so I'm pretty good at quickly being able to decipher compensation plans, strengths, weaknesses, and then being able to relay that to our audience. There was a way that the company pays. The company pays 7 ways. There was a way that they paid called an accelerated bonus, accelerated beginner bonus. The thing is, it was pretty complicated to explain the formula that was used for that particular bonus. Excuse me, I feel a little tickle in my throat, so I'm drinking a little water, so hopefully you're not hearing that. So the challenge was, here was a certain percentage of the company's payout was budgeted for this beginner bonus, but it was not easy to explain. And so they went back, they listened to the field, listened to some leaders in the field, and then they revamped this. So I want to cover what this accelerated beginner bonus now looks like, because it's very, very simple, okay? What this is based on is anyone that you personally sponsor, if in their first 30 days, all right, let's assume personally sponsored, is that you'll see here at the bottom, personally sponsored, BV generated within 30 days of your enrollment. So actually this looks like based on your first 30 days. This looks like based on your first 30 days. If you enroll other partners, other people that are actually customers of INFINii, where they have one of the monthly subscriptions, either the $50, $49.95 BV in Prime, $149.95, that's 150 BV in Surge. Excuse me if I coughed in your ear there. And then Excel is 400 BV. All right, so in your first 30 days, you enroll someone that, whether they're looking to build the business or whether they're just looking to be a customer of INFINii with Prime, Surge, or Excel. If the folks that you enroll, if their business volume equates to 200 BV, all right, and that can be any breakdown. So it could be one Prime enrollee, one Surge enrollee, that would be 200 BV. It could be an Excel enrollee. Obviously, that would give you more than 200 BV. All right, you would get a $50 payout. This is like a fast start, if you will. A $50 payout if the combination of the business volume of those you've personally enrolled in your first month equals at least 200 BV. Okay, now, as I'm sharing this, I want you to understand that I have not spoken with Hitesh. I have not spoken with Kevin. So I'm going based on what I heard on the webinar and based on what I see in print. If I happen to be off on something, then I want you to give me a little grace on that. And if I happen to be off on something, then we'll come back and let you know where we were off, okay? All right, so let's say you enrolled one person that did Prime, one person that did Surge, that's 200 BV, you get an additional $50 bonus. That's simple. See that? See how simple that was? Okay, I enroll a couple of people, one person, two people, what have you, and they did 200 BV collectively, I get a $50 payout. Now, if you enrolled and their BV, business volume, happened to be 400 BV, you would get a $100 payout. You would get a $100 payout. And the beautiful part about this is it doesn't matter what your subscription happened to be. A lot of times what happens in marketing is you're only paid based on what your subscription happens to be. So if you are prime at 50 BV, because that's just happened to be where you are right now financially, and you refer someone who's surge at 150, normally with most compensation plans, you are commissioned based on where you're qualified at 50 BV. You wouldn't get any payout on the 150 or the 400. That's not the case with INFINii, okay? So if you have 800 BV in your first 30 days, you get a $200 bonus. 1,600 BV in your first 30 days, you get a $400 bonus. The design of this is so that people could get to a break even, and even perhaps maybe if all of our disclaimers profit in that first 30 days. Now, there was a good number of you that enrolled some folks that produced some of these BV amounts here, 200 or 400 or 800 or 1,600. Well, the other thing that they said they were going to do is make this retroactive. So there's a good number of you that you're going to pick up an extra $50 on top of whatever you were going to earn, an extra 100, an extra 200, an extra 400. So let's recap the accelerated beginner bonus here. Is when someone joins, there's a 30-day window. Should they enroll anyone in their first 30 days, whatever the BV is of anyone that they personally enroll, personally sponsored, okay? If it equals 200 BV, then they, or you in this case, you get a $50 bonus. 400 BV, it could be one person that did excel, a $100 bonus. 800 BV, that could be 2 excels, that could be a prime, a surge, a couple excel, whatever, it doesn't matter. If it's 800 BV, $200, 1,600 BV, $400, okay? Now that is in the first 30 days. It is designed to help people get to, excuse me, potentially a break even, perhaps even profit. And it's also designed to reward people for getting off to a fast start. Okay. Now, let's talk about the right-hand side, because this is huge. This is huger than huge. Okay? This is based on not just your personal activity. This is based on your team. Now, this is not based on the binary. Okay? This is based on what's called your PET, your personal enrollment tree. Now, what is your personal enrollment tree? Anyone that you personally enroll is in your personal enrollment tree. But it doesn't stop there. Anyone that they enroll is also in your personal enrollment tree. Don't let that word personal throw you off. It doesn't mean it all came from your efforts, but it's like you having children. Those children are part of your lineage. Now, if those children beget children, so now you have grandchildren, those grandchildren are still part of your what? Lineage. In our INFINii world, those grandchildren would be a part of your personal enrollment tree. You enrolled Jeff White. Jeff White enrolled yours truly. They call me the big cat. All right. Jeff White would be in your personal enrollment tree, and so would I. Also, anyone that Jeff White ever sponsors, and anyone they sponsor, and anyone they sponsor, and anyone they sponsor, and anyone they sponsor would be in your personal enrollment tree. Likewise, anyone that Big Cat, your grandson, sponsored, and anyone that those people sponsored, and anyone that those people sponsored, and anyone that those people sponsored would also be in your what? Personal enrollment tree. There is no depth cap, meaning this pays out to an unlimited depth. That is very, very key. Very, very key. Now, give us just a moment here. Okay? Now, we know how powerful this is. This is something we've been training on with our audience since we saw the compensation plan. However, you did not begin to make money from the personal enrollment tree until you hit the director status. Now, I believe I heard that there were 20 folks in the company that have already hit this status, meaning that they're going to get a $20,000 bonus. When you become a director, you get a $10,000 bonus that's paid over a period of 2 months, $5,000 one month, $5,000 the next. If you hit director in 90 days, you get another $10,000 bonus. Congratulations to my sponsor, Jeff White, who blew through director status, blew through senior director status. That is a $40,000 bonus coming his way, and do not ask him for a loan. Okay? All right. Now, the thing with the PET is that prior to last night, you only started to generate revenue from your PET, your PET, your personal enrollment tree volume, if you hit the director status. And to hit director status, your PET, your personal enrollment tree, needs to do $30,000 a month in volume. Well, that's not all that difficult when you look at $50 for Prime, $150 for Surge, excuse me, $400 for Excel, and then you start looking at the volume that's going to come from e-commerce and down the road, some of the other things that will be coming online. So the target for those of you that want to build is to get every single one of you to director. Now, some will get there in the first 90 days and get the 10 and 10, the $10,000 director bonus, the $10,000 that a boy, that a girl bonus, because you did it in the first 90 days. Okay? Those who don't get there in 90 days, you get there with, whether it's the 91st day or the 910th day or the 9,100th day, doesn't matter, you'll get that bonus. All right, now here is the big deal here, is that with the compensation as we knew it prior to the webinar, you didn't start earning from your personal enrollment tree volume until you became a director. All right, so here's the compensation chart. Notice before you got to director, there was no income that you were deriving from the personal enrollment tree. You're making money from the binary, you're making money from doing your e-commerce business, but not from the personal enrollment tree. Once you got to director, then this could be huge money, and in time, the income that you can produce from your personal enrollment tree can dwarf the income that can be produced from the binary. But let me tell you what they did last night. Excuse me again for coughing in your ear. They said, here's a new bonus. And I'm concerned that most people didn't get how big this is, which is why my buddy and my sponsor, in whom I'm very well pleased, I'm so proud of Jeff White, why he said, hey, would you do something for our audience? Sure, Jeff. Sure, man. As much as you've given to our team, and I happen to be a part of his team, as much as you've given, sure, Jeff. Here we go. Now, you will earn this bonus if your personal enrollment tree volume equals these BV amounts on a calendar month to a calendar month basis until you reach director. So, for instance, let's say you're not a director, okay, you don't have 30,000 in personal enrollment tree volume, but you do have 2,500 BV and personal enrollment tree volume. Well, you now get paid $250. That was not there, ladies and gentlemen. That was not there, ladies and gentlemen. So those of you that may be saying, it may take me a little while to get to 30,000 BV to become a director, guess what? Well, maybe you get to 2,500 BV this calendar month, $250. Okay? Now, this is going to come from new partners and new customers. All right? So the whole idea is to start seeing monthly growth. Monthly growth. And this is going to be retroactive. So those of you that didn't hit 30,000, but you hit 2,500 BV, all of that was new partners and customers growth for the calendar month. Guess what's going to happen retroactively? You're going to make $250. Now, what if you personally enrolled a few folks and you had 200 BV or 400 BV or 800 BV or 1,600 BV over here? You would get that along with this bonus. Let's say for the month, new partners joining, not just you, but in your personal enrollment tree. It could be 3 levels down, 30 levels down, 300 levels down, 3,000 levels down. And if 5,000 in BV, new BV from new people joining your team came into your organization, your personal enrollment tree that month, you get an extra $500. You might not be a director yet, but this is money that you get in addition to what was already a phenomenal compensation plan. Okay, 7,500 BV. All right, so maybe in January, new partners responsible for 2,500 BV. You make $250. And maybe in February, you're starting to build a little momentum. New partners responsible for 5,000 BV. You get $500. Maybe not quite a director yet. But the next month, maybe it's 7,500 BV. You get another 750. All right, 10,000 BV. New partner growth in terms of BV, calendar month to calendar month. If it's 10,000, you get a $1,000 bonus, and that continues. New growth as long until you hit director. Then once you hit director, this goes away, but that's okay, because when that goes away, what comes into play? You've got a $10,000 bonus. And if it happened in 90 days, you get another $10,000 bonus. Say that with me. I like the way that sounds, a $10,000 bonus. And then you start earning weekly from your personal enrollment tree. Okay? So, this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is huge. Absolutely huge. Put these together, it becomes huger than huge. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, here's what I want you to do. I know that many folks came here because maybe they weren't good at recruiting. Maybe they weren't good at sponsoring. And they heard the e-commerce message, maybe even in the days, the early days of DS Domination. And perhaps you're doing very well in your e-commerce business, and we tip our hat off to you. I want you to stretch your vision, and I want you to embrace all of INFINii, meaning the business building component as well. Why? Because as much money as some folks are making in e-commerce, all right, think this through for just a moment. Think this through for just a moment. Jeff White hit senior director in the first 30 days. Okay. Now the reality is he hit senior director because he's brought tremendous value to his following. He's had a list. He's had a list. And he's brought tremendous value to that following, so that when the word of INFINii came about, there were people that were already ready to align with his team and his leaders. The dude, his binary has about, last that I'm aware of, about 12,000 folks. Now, did that happen in 30 days? The reality is it happened because he has brought value, and he's taught his team to bring value. So what he had was he had leaders that had learned from him, that also had their own way of doing things, but they brought value to their list. My point in saying that is I want you to embrace all of INFINii, not just the e-commerce. $40,000 bonus, ladies and gentlemen. His next bonus, when he hits executive director, is going to be a $50,000 bonus. His next bonus after that, when he hits presidential, is going to be $150,000. And while we are excited about that for Jeff, and we love Jeff, and Jeff, you deserve it all, my friend, what we're really concerned about is what? You. Let's get you to director. Let's get you to senior director. Let's get you to executive director and beyond. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we trust that this has brought some enlightenment. Sorry for coughing in your ear a few times. And from time to time, with Jeff's permission, we will post training videos to help you understand it, INFINii, her, as you undertake it. We love each and every one of you. Let's change the world together, starting with yours.